Hi, and welcome to another Z-Stick move, part of the balance series. And this first move is called tree pose. Tree pose, just like the tree, grounded into the earth. We're going to become the same way. So we're going to root ourselves on one leg, and we'll use the Z-Stick as needed to help maintain that balance or maintain the pose and the length of that pose. So tree pose, very simple. We start in mountain pose, and then whenever we're ready, we're going to shift all our weight to one leg. So right for me, for this, I'm going to shift all my weight to my right leg. And when I'm ready, whenever I'm ready, then I'm going to bring that left foot to either that right ankle, calf, or maybe even that right upper inner thigh. And I'm going to keep my hip open. So I'm going to feel a nice stretch along this side of the hip. I'm still extending and rooting this right leg into the earth. As you see, I still have my Z-Stick here, so it's helping me maintain balance and posture and alignment. And it's keeping me upright. So whenever I'm ready, if I feel like I can go without the Z-Stick, then pull it away. And simply we're in tree pose. And there's different variations of tree pose. I mean, we could be just like the tree, growing its limbs, you know, and it's really looks like our 5-point star or our half moon. So we could be playing with different variations of this while we're maintaining our balance, or we don't have to. We could just be staying true to the pose. My drishti or my gaze point could be anything. So if my stick is here, I could be looking directly through the stick into the horizon. Or I could pick an imaginary spot on the floor or up in the ceiling. But again, paying attention to your balance. And notice, don't beat yourself up if you fall out of the pose. So if you fall out of this, and you will, don't beat yourself up. It doesn't mean you're not a good athlete or a balanced person. It just means that maybe you had a momentary lapse of concentration, or maybe your body wasn't balanced in that moment, and maybe you needed to come out of the pose. When we get fatigued and we need to come out of it, we need to come out of it. We need to surrender to it sometimes. So in tree pose, we start in mountain pose, Tadasana, and then whenever we're ready, taking one leg, so I'm going to use my right leg, and whenever we're ready, I'm going to take that right foot and I'm going to bring it up onto either my ankle, my calf, or my inner thigh. I want to pay attention to not using it on my knee, not having it on my inner knee because that's too much pressure on the knee, but having it up on maybe your inner thigh. So this right here could be tree pose. Still using many of the same principles, sinking my shoulders back and down, my head's lifting, my chin tucking, and I'm using my breath to stay balanced so I'm not fatigued. And I may be using a Z-Stick to keep that balance, or not. So if I don't need it, I could be doing any different micro movements with it, with the Z-Stick, or I may be completely dependent on having the Z-Stick to maintain my posture and alignment, or if I want to do this pose for longer periods of time, this can allow me to maintain this pose for longer periods of time. So in tree pose, it reminds us to root ourselves one leg at a time, one foot at a time, into the earth, into the ground. So again, if you can't stay up and balanced, don't beat yourself up over it. This is just an exercise. And this is where you want to practice. This is where it doesn't matter if you come out of the pose and can't maintain the balance and fall out of it. It really doesn't matter. You just want to get back into it and keep trying, because As you keep trying, you'll start to develop the muscle memory. So instead of coming off balanced, you'll be able to develop a muscle memory to be able to always come back into the pose, no matter what. So use this balanced pose. This is an opener, tree pose. Use tree pose anytime to help develop your internal composure and also be balanced from the inside out. This has been another Z-Stick move.